Better Odds Sports Betting Guys. Kyle Hunter here, your host today. Kiev is on vacation right now, and I know he's going to be having his play still up for this weekend, but I think he's out golfing right now. So, I'm not sure whether to say he's the fortunate one or we are, because I love talking football too as well, but golfing's always nice also. So here we go with a breakdown for college football this weekend and the NFL. I've got with me Nick Hubb and Sean Higgs. Sean, how you doing this week? Your return person here on the show. So how's everything going for you?
Pretty good. Off a nice little day of had a 3-0 sweep yesterday. I had my 2 baseball games. I had run lines. I went run line with the Rays and the Stros got there. And I cashed that under in that Coastal. 70. I got 73. I barely got under. Got it. I'll take a lucky one. We all need a lucky one every once in a while. Not you, Kyle, because last time I was on here, you had like 17-0 run going on, but.
It's still a good run, but it's not 17-0 anymore. A 26-7 start to college for me. 9-5 to start NFL. So a real good start. Let's say that. Yeah. So Nick.
He said,
Nick, welcome.
He says that he didn't have a smile on his face. He's like, 26-7. Like, he's annoyed by it. Like,
it's because Sean. It's because I feel like if I talk too positively about it,
he'll be 7-27.
Yeah, you got to be careful talking too positively about stuff.
You do.
Like that,
I agree. I say that all the time. Like, it's just you win. It's like you win. You're supposed to win. You lose. What did I do wrong?
We know how it goes.
The losers are the problems. Like, what did I do wrong on that loss?
Right. We know how it goes around here. Nick, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thanks, Kyle. Hey, Sean. I'm good, man. Started the season in college very good. Past couple weeks have been a little slow, but we'll rebound. And I'm looking forward to these baseball playoffs. I have my first premium play today, and I'm ready to get going, man.
Yeah, man. It's a great time of the year. We got a lot of sports overlapping, some big games here. So let's get into some of these games. We're going to talk a really big game here to start with. Georgia takes on Auburn this weekend. Auburn coming off a nice win there over LSU. I think we could argue whether, that was more about LSU or more about Auburn. But let's talk about this game here. And Sean, I'm going to start with you. I think you have some thoughts on this game. So Georgia at Auburn, Georgia laying 15 points here, total of 47. What are you thinking on this game for this weekend?
I'm just retweeting that your little thing on Twitter here from the page. So yeah, so I know people are gonna come in here and be like, well, this line was I think 4 back in August when these lines came out, and now it's 14, 15. But what have we seen out of these two clubs? I mean, Georgia's defense looks like it's a historically great defense. I mean, they've outscored last 2 SEC teams. Whether you think Arkansas has improved or unimproved, and Vandy's in. 92-0 is still 92-0. 5 points per game is still 5 points per game. 1 touchdown allowed passing, none on the ground, 7 picks. Georgia always has a great defense. This is uncharted territories. I mean, this is crazy, and they're just doing it all over the place. And offensively, that it's like a running back university anyway. They just got a stable guys come in there. I mean, I think they threw 11 passes last week for 70 yards. And they pitched a 38-0 shutout. I mean, are we that sold on Knicks off of a come-from-behind win over LSU, who might be okay? I mean, since they went 15-0, I think they're 2 games over 500 the last 2 years. I'm not sold on Bo Nix. We've seen him choke games away. I want to see him against – he hasn't faced anything like this Georgia team. 14, 15, 20. This game, are we going to be shocked when this game is 38-3? No, don't be shocked. 38-10. They're going to cover this number. 10-point line move from August. I think it's warranted. I mean, tell me, until somebody comes in and scores against Georgia, how are you not laying anything under 20 with them? Seriously, what team is going to give them a run right now besides Alabama? What team? Tell me.
Guys, I think Bama and Georgia are so far above everybody else right now. It's hard to think of the third team is pretty far behind them here. Sean,
who would you put in that category? What team is coming up behind them to be within 10 points? Give me a team within double digits.
Well, we thought it'd be Oklahoma, but they haven't shown that so far. They haven't shown us anything that would make me think that.
I don't think they win tomorrow.
Well, we'll see about that, but I'm looking forward to that game as well.
Be a good one.
I think Ohio State was expected to be better than what they've been. You know, my Buckeyes are not tremendous. They're a pretty decent team again. I think they'll probably get better throughout the season, but it's hard to imagine anybody else. You know, it feels like once we get to the playoffs, it's just going to be, you know, Georgia and Bama in the final game.
Yep.
It's hard to imagine anything else. To be honest, I don't even really know who the third option would be. Nick, what are your thoughts on this game, Georgia and Auburn here? Georgia laying about 15 points. I also kind of think about, as Sean was talking there, I kind of wonder about Georgia first half being a decent play as well, too, because I think Georgia probably starts strong here. And I'm not convinced that Bo Nix is going to look, you know, run in circles and be able to pull off the stuff he did there at Baton Rouge last week again. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this game?
I like the first half. The big thing that sticks out to me, Auburn's been playing mediocre defenses that have been giving up 6.3 yards per play. Now they're going up against this Georgia defense, giving up, 3.4 yards per play. So I think Georgia's going to embarrass Auburn in this game. They should cover. I'm not playing it, but they should cover.
Yeah, you know, for me, I have a few notes on this game. And Kirby Smart was talking about the fact that his Georgia team was really banged up. The good thing for Georgia is the fact that they're so deep. This team has guys on the second and third string that are better than anybody else's first string, especially on defense. And guys, Georgia has allowed one offensive touchdown in 5 games. That's just absurd. I mean, just ridiculous stuff. Which Bo Nix are we going to get in this one? I think freestyling Bo Nix is probably the best in general, but freestyling Bo Nix against the Georgia defense doesn't make me very confident. I don't think Auburn's going to score very many points in this game. Georgia's going to run the football here. Auburn's been good at stopping the run, but they haven't played a team as good at running the football as Georgia. I would certainly lean toward Georgia. I hate to lay this many points on the road. May go with a first half bet if I took anything here. I will say Auburn's played an easy schedule. According to Sagarin, 130th in strength of schedule so far this year. So I would rather fade Auburn than back them at this point. I would lean toward Georgia in this game. I actually have a play on the total, so you can check out huntersportspicks.com and look for the total there as well. But guys, let's get on to the next game. We got plenty of good games to talk about. Nick, I know you wanted to talk about an under the radar game here, and you know I love that.
Yeah.
Buffalo and Kent State. Nick, I'll let you start here. What are your thoughts on this game?
Let's get into some action here. Yeah, Buffalo's offense is averaging 383 yards per game, 5.6 yards per play, 29.8 points per game. Golden Flash are very similar as well. The offenses could put up even better numbers in this game. They're going up against defenses allowing close to 400 yards per game. Specifically, I like Buffalo's running game in this game. I think they're going to do some damage. Kent State's giving up 5 yards per rush, and I think they can take advantage of that. Pace of play will be fast, too. Buffalo ranks 23rd in tempo, and Kent State's 9th in the country. Kent State also averages 50 rushes per game and 242 yards per game. But they'll be going up against a defense that's only allowing 3.9 yards per rush and 167 yards per game. So it'll be interesting to see that battle. That's going to be the key of the game. Hey, Sean.
I froze up.
That's all right. And another thing, too, Buffalo gets to the quarterback a lot, too. What are they at? They're 19th in the nation with 15 sacks. And they're going up against a offensive line that's given up 18 sacks. So I favor Buffalo in this game. I also like the over, lean the over as well.
I'll go next here on this one. I like the over in this game. I will say I have Kent State over for season win total, so I'm kind of rooting for Kent State to win this game, obviously. Nick, I hope you cover your bet, but Kent State wins this one outright.
That's fair.
Over the total I like here. Last year's game was 70-41. Now, I'm not predicting a 70-41 game here. And obviously, these two teams are different than last year. But if you look at Kent State's offensive numbers so far this year, they look like they're not very good. But look at who they've played against. You know, they played against Texas A&M, Iowa. Yeah, to be honest, even Maryland, Bowling Green's defense has been really good. It's kind of funny to say that, but Bowling Green's defense has some really good numbers this year. I think Kent State offensively will look much better the rest of the season. We know they're going to play really fast. They always do that. So I like the over in this game. Dustin Crum is still a good quarterback. Kent State has a pretty good running game. Kent State's defense is just atrocious, almost 5 yards per carry allowed. They rank dead last in opponent passing play success rate. Pace and the defenses don't match up well against what the opponent wants to do here. So I think this will be a high-scoring game. I don't have any strong lean on the side here. This one has gone up a bit here. It started by 5 for Kent State. Now we're up to 6 pretty much across the board. So, Sean, you have any thoughts on this one real quick?
Yeah, you look at it like you mentioned, like the no run defense. Who's Buffalo? Who's Ken played? A&M, Iowa, Maryland, better teams, tougher, out of conference. And then Buffalo in off 3 straight losses. I'm like, you want to kind of take the over, but it's come down a little bit, I think, right? Did it switch? Which way did it move? I thought maybe my number's wrong, but I thought that
it went up.
It's gone up.
Like it's going up. Like, of course it could go up. You got Buffalo on a losing streak. Kent's against better, weaker competition, but you know what I'm saying, better to worse from Big Ten to MAC. But I think the points, like you mentioned, I think Buffalo worth a play, and I don't know. I'm worried about the under. You see the 5-0 to the under, but that's again who they played. So I don't know. Buffalo in the over for me, maybe. Tease it up. I don't know what to do here. Go crazy. I would be more of the dog play here, just based on the way Kent's played and who they played. I think with the defense, give me Buffalo. Desperate. You lose a couple games in a row. This is when you got to come in and win.
That makes sense, guys. So let's go on to another game here. Wake Forest and Syracuse. This is one that Nick wanted to talk about. I will say I don't have too much on this game. I'll start off, but Syracuse ranks 17th in yards per play allowed so far this year, second in defensive havoc rate on the front seven. So really aggressive on the front seven for Syracuse. And I have to say, they've been far better on defense than I expected them to be. I certainly didn't expect this. They play a unique style of defense. It didn't really work too well the past couple seasons, but much better so far this year. I do think we have to be fair and say outside of Liberty, they haven't really played a good offense so far this year. So maybe their defense isn't quite as good as those numbers look. Both of these teams are plus 11 in sack margin so far this year in just 5 games. That's pretty impressive. And Syracuse's offensive line has been a big problem in the past. The thing I worry about for Syracuse here is that Wake might get quite a bit of pressure on them in this game. This is a Wake Forest team that I think is really well coached. 5.5, 6, the line pretty much now, most of them 6. So, I don't have any strong lean on the side. Hopefully you guys have something a little bit stronger than I do on this one. Nick, I'll let you go first here.
Yeah. Like you said, the defense, this could be, and that you made a good point. They might not have played many teams decent on offense, but this could be the best defensive team that Wake Forest has played to this point. This will definitely be the best rushing attack I think that they're going to face, or that they have faced. The Orange averaged 221 yards per game at 5.3 yards per clip. So I think this could be a challenging game. I think that's the key matchup, would be the rushing game against the Wake Forest rush defense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. This is a Syracuse team that their season win total was 3.5 or something like that. And I'll say this, I bet something on the Syracuse under season win total. Quite a few of them are doing well, but this one is dead. So we'll see how this one goes. Sean, do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm with you on that Syracuse under. I'm like, these guys are not going to be good, baby. I mean, they had 1 win last year. I'm like, this team's in trouble. He's going to be canned. And then I had Ohio actually open a week against them. I'm like, what is this? MAC versus ACC, and the MAC's favored. And listen, it was a loser, and it is what it is. But again, they lost to Rutgers, tough kind of little squad. And Wake, this kind of like uncharted territory. I like Wake coming. I thought I had an over. I said, look at this team for an over. Now they're ranked 19th, favored on the road. Not a good spot where, Clausen, as good as he is, listen, this is rarefied air for him. They're 2-7 as road faves here. Do I think they should get it done? Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Syracuse is okay, but we saw like that ugly game against Rutgers. And I think Wake's better than Rutgers. So for me, I like Wake. I would lay. I don't want to lay 6, but I can't say money line. That's way too much. But Wake should win. I think it's going to be low scoring. So I guess the under would be my favorite lean here. But I'm happy for Wake. I like the little team. And 5-0. These guys could win the ACC. Let's be honest. Like Clemson's got a loss. They don't look too good. You know, I mean, like we might be seeing Wake in North Carolina or somebody, however they break down the divisions. But give me Wake under, though, would be my stronger lean here with these two teams playing.
Yeah, I want to say too, remember Syracuse a few years ago was just playing lightning fast, tempo-wise, and they've changed the way they play. They're playing slower than the average team. I think Babers kind of figured out that their offense is no longer good enough to win these high-scoring shootouts. So I would lean to the under on this one as well. My total on this game was 55.5. So we see it now at 58.5. I certainly lean to the under. Also, Wake Forest does play really fast, so that would concern me a bit. Just that maybe the Syracuse defense isn't quite as good as they've looked, but at that high of a number, have to lean to the under as well. Can't take a side on this one, so I'll set this one out and root for you guys. But sounds like you might be leaning separate ways, right?
Yeah, I'm on Syracuse. I think this is a good spot with the ranked team coming in.
Plus the 6, I think, is worth it. And I think it's to be a dogfight.
Yeah, I think it's a real good spot. So we'll see how good the Syracuse defense is. But if they show up like they've been playing, I think it's a good spot that they can even pull off the upset.
If we've seen anything this football season, we've seen dogs, teams win that are underdogs, right? I mean, that's across. Yeah. It's maybe that's because guys get to come back an extra year and there's not many transfers. They had the whole COVID nonsense. Guys aren't transferring; they're staying. Let me stay here and a little more unity and stuff. But Kyle, you mentioned like Babers, like they used to be a high, running a lot of plays. Well, he's still the coach. Who are you recruiting? Like, how do you just totally switch? Like, that's the way he played when they bought him out of – like, he came from the MAC. Like, That's the way he played. How do you just go and just change your total – you're the head coach. You bring in your assistants. How do you just do a total 360? In today's football, we're going to slow it down. When in the NFL is running RPOs and all types of crazy wide receiver, no backfield sets. And this guy's bringing it back to 80s football. I don't understand.
Yeah, I still am skeptical that Babers is going to work out now again long run for Syracuse. He was really on the hot seat, and maybe he's biding himself a little bit of time with how they're playing so far this year, but not sure it's going to work out long term. We'll see. Guys, let's talk about another really big game here. Michigan and Nebraska, Big Ten. I'll start out in this one. I love the Big Ten country here. Nebraska's Adrian Martinez is really an interesting case. If you just look at the numbers, he's played really well this year. We have to be fair to him and say, outside of that first game against Illinois, where he looked bad, and I know a lot of people remember that game very well, but Nebraska's covered the spread in every game since then. So, they've been just absolute money since then. And also, Martinez has really changed the way he's throwing the ball, average depth of target, almost 11 yards. Last year it was 7. So massive jump, really looking downfield a lot more. My concern about Nebraska here is their offensive line. PFF grades them 122nd out of 130 teams. That's behind Kansas. So if you're behind Kansas in something, you're not doing very well. This is a offensive line that hasn't been tested as much by great defensive lines lately. I do think Michigan will give them some trouble. Michigan is 13th in pass rush grade at PFF. So, I think they'll get after Nebraska here. The thing is, Martinez is a really good scrambler. So, him scrambling around is kind of how he makes his plays. So I could see Nebraska having some success that way. Michigan has allowed only 1 sack so far this year. So their offensive line's been great. Michigan's teams have looked really good early in the season a few times before, and people have bought in and said, look, Harbaugh's back. Everybody, here we go. Obviously, I'm a Buckeyes fan. I'm always fair about it. I think that Michigan is better this year than they have been, but are we ready to say that Michigan is elite? I don't know that they're as good as some people think they are. Michigan 4-1 against the spread, Nebraska 5-1 against the spread. Wisconsin handed Michigan the game last week. So how much credit do we give Michigan for that win? That was more about Wisconsin being really bad. And yes, I am bashing Kiev's Wisconsin team. I get to do that on here, guys, because Kiev just about every week reminds me of when I went to the Ohio State at Purdue game a few years ago when Purdue beat Ohio State. It was my wife and I's anniversary, and we went to the game.
Primetime game. Yeah.
Not a great anniversary present. So the fact that
Wisconsin's back in the whole time, because I was loving them against Notre Dame here on the show. I was like, yeah, this is crazy. What is this? I mean, they're not 10-point faves. No, they should have been 10-point dogs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing is,
Air dogs.
Wisconsin's defense has still been really good. It's just they keep turning the ball over nonstop, and at this point, you kind of, are they going to stop turning it over? I don't know. I mean, until we see it, you hate to bet on it.
What are they, 5 games in? You are what you are, man. You're a turnover machine. You're not flipping a switch.
Right. And I kind of off topic here for a minute. I know the line has moved toward Wisconsin a little bit this week, and people said Mertz might be playing, so the line's going to move up. Look, Mertz has been really bad, so it's hard for me to say that the line should be moving up a lot on Wisconsin from something like that.
Any Wisconsin quarterback, right?
I mean the Wisconsin quarterback options. Yeah, no kidding. And Kiev's Bears have had a rough time as well. So I'm gonna stop bashing Kiev's teams.
I mean, he's not even listening. He's
golfing.
He's not even paying attention to the show.
I know. I was gonna say I'm gonna make him watch the show later, and then the next time when we do this next week, he's gonna bring up something negative about Ohio State or the Bengals or somebody like that. But that's all right.
Do a chat out at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah. Glenn, thanks for tuning in. You're always one of our loyal viewers. We appreciate that. Certainly, if you have any questions, you can ask him there in the chat box. I think I would have to take the under if I took anything, Michigan and Nebraska. This one has moved down a bit. I see 49.5. Would rather had the 52, 51.5, but we are where we are. And I lean to the under here. I think this could be a hard fought game. It's pretty close all the way. Sean, what are your thoughts on this game?
You mentioned Martinez. This guy, how long has he been here? Like 7 years? He seems like every year he's there. Like this is the year, and he gets hurt. But he short of that Illinois game, and I was down on Nebraska. I was like, I got Illinois. Let's go game 1. And I had Michigan State over them. That came back and bit me in the butt. They looked really good. I thought Frost was in trouble. This team has totally turned itself around. I mean, talk about like circling the wagons and let's just worry about the team and put everything first and not worry about everything else. I mean, Frost's done a tremendous job. And as you mentioned, Martinez, listen, the leg, he came in there, right? It was supposed to be a great dual threat kind of guy. And that's the difference. But the thing with Michigan is their guys, they got NFL guys. It's you're not going to, you're not out running 3-star guys or, whatever. These are elite guys. I'm with you on the under. Sidewise, though, I almost want to take Nebraska. I'm like, why is this? It looks low, right? Because everybody thinks Michigan is Michigan. Right, that's one of those public teams where Michigan's only laying. They got to win by a field goal. It's a touchdown. I want to take Nebraska, but I'm with you on the under. I wish we had a better number. I could see this one being a tough, typical, Big Ten. Your Big Ten. And this game here, 27-13. You can see it being low scoring. Turnovers on both sides. Like the Michigan offense hasn't impressed me. And bring back like Ron Dane days back here when they used to play like Wisconsin. Like, I don't know. I'm not high on the Michigan offense. Harbaugh, again, you just mentioned him. How good has he been in big games? Not this huge game. Big game for Frost, though. So I'm going to lean on the under with you, and I want to take Nebraska. I do. I haven't bet it, but that's where I'm leaning for that. I can't get behind Harbaugh. Every year's like he's got the best talent, but he doesn't produce.
Yeah, that's fair. It's hard to back Harbaugh in a big game.
Like we get the all types of efficiency, this and that, but it doesn't on the field. It doesn't translate anything for him. Nebraska looks like they're a focused team right now, and that's what I kind of look at this bet. Like this is a team that's started the year, and you thought lose at Illinois, this guy's going to be fired in 3 games. Well, here we are, and they're actually playing well. No,
he turned it around after that first game. I think he's been playing. The team's been playing pretty well. 3-3 going up against undefeated. This is another situational bet that I like Nebraska. I mean, Adrian Martinez isn't turning the ball over like he usually was last year, the year before. What does he have? 2? That's what I was looking up here. He has 2 interceptions on the year. One of them was that amazing catch at Oklahoma, that cornerback. So, he's playing well. It's going to come down to the rushing game. I mean, both of these teams rush the ball. Michigan runs over 70% of their plays. Nebraska's over 60%. So it'll depend, who can slow each other's rush game down will determine the game.
Yeah, I will say, Nick,
I
am still a bit scared that Martinez might still not be too trustworthy. He's turned a lot of really ugly turnovers in the past, and I'm not totally sure he's over that, which makes me a bit shy about taking Nebraska. The other thing about Nebraska is they've been the king of winning the box score but losing the game in previous years. Even this year against Michigan State, you go back and look at that box score. They should not have lost that game. No way they should have lost that game. So I'm a bit shy about pulling the trigger on a team like Nebraska, just kind of to play devil's advocate. But, I don't want to lay the points here with Michigan either. So
very
guys,
similar to another quarterback in the Big Ten, Sean Clifford for Penn State.
Yeah,
he's been playing better, but I can't trust him yet either. So
let's see how he does against the Iowa secondary, right?
That'll be the test. Yeah,
really good. We'll find out this weekend. Let's switch over to the NFL, guys. Browns Chargers to start things off here. This is a great game. The Browns are a deep team. They don't have too many clear weaknesses to me. I'm not necessarily a Browns fan. Yeah, I'm in Ohio. I'm a Bengals guy. I'm still not sure, though, that Mayfield is the guy to win a Super Bowl. I don't know if his high end, his top end talent is as good as some of the other quarterbacks. They have great talent around him, so maybe they can win a championship. But the NFL is more offensive than it used to be, as far as, the quarterback's even more important than it was years ago. People can say, well, Trent Dilfer was quarterback and they won the title. Peyton Manning, even a few years ago, was on his last leg, obviously, and Denver's defense won it for him. But, I'm not suggesting Mayfield is a bad quarterback. I just think he's kind of middle of the pack. The Chargers, top 8 pass defense in the NFL, a bottom 3 run defense in the NFL. Chargers really haven't played too many teams that can run the ball lately, but the Browns can run the ball. So, Cleveland's number 1 in the NFL in yards per play margin. It's pretty impressive. Really nice start for them so far. Nick, I'm going to start with you on this one. What are your thoughts, Browns Chargers?
Yeah, so the offenses look good, but if you dig in a little deeper, they're playing defenses that have been giving up more points than the Browns and Chargers have been scoring. So there's a lot of talk on these offenses, but I don't think they're performing. I think those numbers that they have are inflated a little bit. They're going up against defenses that are almost 400 yards per game, 27 points per game, and they're scoring less than that. So, I think this is a good spot for the under in this ball game. Cleveland's defense has yet to give up 100 yards on the ground. So I think it's going to turn the Chargers into a one-dimensional team, and that's a good recipe for turnovers for Herbert.
Sean, what are your thoughts here?
I'm actually locked in. I got the Browns at a money line and a -1, and I know the talk was he's playing with a dislocated shoulder, this and that. That does not bother me because he's with a coach who keeps him within his little circle, doesn't ask too much, and the running game, way too much. And the Chargers, listen, good for the Chargers. Nice little Monday night win. I had the Chargers Monday night, but you're off a division rival, short week, and a legit championship contender team coming in here with a legit big-time defense. I just like it more based on – I like their head coach better. New regime in San Diego or Los Angeles, whatever. They have trouble scoring. They've been an under team the whole year, right? The Cowboy game should have been an over. Other than that, everything else has been tough defensive battles. So in a game like that, I'm going to go with a little more experienced coach who I like better. I think we got a better offensive line. I think we got a better pass rush. I know San Diego – I keep saying San Diego. Chargers. People are like, you don't know anything about football. You go up San Diego. I've been San Diego my whole life, except for the last 3 years. I just like the pass rush for the Browns. I like the run game. You had two great running backs. Everything about – I was big on the Browns last year. It hasn't changed. I had them against Minnesota last week. I don't care. I'm taking them. I just think they're a really good team. It's short. Maybe it's the low-hanging fruit and not a smart play. I don't know. I just look at it as off a Monday night. You're on a short week. Give me the team that's on the road. I don't care if it's back-to-back road games. They won a grinder. Last week's game was a game that the Browns would always lose for 15 years. Would never even be in it. And to win that kind of ugly game like that, I think they turn the page. I could come here and win on the road. Give them to me. I haven't seen that from the Chargers, right? The Chargers haven't proven that in their past. And the new head coach, I'm not buying it. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me here if the Browns win this game. It sounds like both of you guys like the under in this one.
Yeah.
The only thing that pauses me a bit on the under is I think that Cleveland can run on the Chargers here more than some of the other teams have. So having said that, Cleveland doesn't play very fast, and if they're not gashing them for big plays, then that could be okay because a lot of running is moving clock, obviously. So I think that one would probably be a decent look as well. Guys, let's switch over to the biggest game of the weekend, the Bills and the Chiefs. I don't have a bet on this game. I'm hoping you guys have something here in this one. I will say, just from how they've played so far this year, should the Bills be 3-point dogs in this game? I know there's 2.5 or 3 out there, but at the same time, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, do you really want to bet against Patrick Mahomes? Kansas City has a great home field advantage. I think this will be really high scoring. This is one of those games where the total's 56.5. I'm not taking the under. I mean, if somebody else wants to take the under, you can take the under. No. And it's not going to be very fun to watch this game, I don't think. But, it's hard to take over 56.5, but there's no way I could take the under. Mahomes and this Chiefs offense is still elite. The Chiefs defense is just terrible so far this year. I would think Buffalo's going to score a lot of points in this game. Do I think Buffalo can stop Kansas City? No, I really don't. I think there'll be a lot of points in this game. My strongest lean is the over in this one. Sean, what are your thoughts on Bills Chiefs?
I think everybody's going to be on the over, but that Buffalo defense, I don't know. That's, again, I'm just going to avoid that, but I'm going to take the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs every week. And I know everybody's going to talk about, well, they're 1 or 2 and 13 ATS, blah, blah. They're usually laying huge numbers. All right. They're usually laying big numbers. This is basically a pick 'em at home. Granted, you got a big revenge spot, right? Buffalo, championship game, blah, blah, blah. How are you not laying a field goal or 2 with Mahomes at home? Well, you just got to win. And I always say, like, when it's the old, you just got to win by field goal, I'm going the other way. Basically, everyone is on Buffalo, right? They've all written off Kansas City. They can't cover spreads. The defense, no defense. Josh Allen, blah, blah. So I like Kansas City almost based on everybody's on the other side. Everybody's on the other side of this game. Hopefully it goes down to 2. I mean, I haven't bet it yet. I like Kansas City out of the gate because my initial thinking is everybody's going to take Buffalo because of the Kansas City defense. I don't know. Mahomes,
yeah, I think Kansas City.
How many losses has Mahomes had in his career? What's their record, him and Andy Reid? I don't even know. What are they? 50-5? What is their regular season record? I mean, how many home losses does this guy have?
Yeah, your point is fair that, the Chiefs have been laying 10 points or 8 points or something in a lot of those games that they didn't cover the spread. And to be fair, too, a lot of those games were really close to the number. They lost a lot of games against the spread by a very small margin when they were laying 8 points and won by 7, things like that. They got to win this game if you're laying 2.5. Not very many games land on 1 or 2. I can't blame you for that one. I don't think I could take Buffalo here, even though they've looked pretty good this year. Nick, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think KC is the smart or the right side in this game. I don't have a play on it, but I think everybody looks at the Buffalo defense and compares it to the Kansas City defense. And if you look a little closer, I mean, Buffalo hasn't played a decent offense. So those defensive numbers are a little, I guess, what do you call it? Deflated, inflated, whichever way. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, and KC at home, I think that's the right side. Yeah, and the over, I would agree with that too.
Yeah, I don't think the over is going to get any lower either, guys. We see that the public's going to want to bet the over in this one. So if you see 56.5, I don't know that you even want to wait on this one. Barring any kind of bad weather, which I haven't seen the weather report there. It looks like there's 20% chance of rain, not too much wind. So I think that this total will probably just go up even more. I do want to show Glenn here ask about any thoughts on Houston Baptist. Glenn, the only thoughts I have on Houston Baptist are college basketball.
I was going to say, we take the over in Houston Baptist basketball.
Yeah, can we just take the over in some of Houston Baptist college basketball games and just root for that terrible defense and really fast pace? But I've got nothing as far as them. I don't do FCS in college football, so sorry about that. I don't know, Sean or Nick. Do you do anything with FCS?
No, I got nothing.
People come in like I do the live show too sometimes, and people are like, "Oh, what do you think about this game?" I'm like, "Folks, do you want to make money, or are you just betting something to bet?" You don't have to bet every game on the board on a Friday night. There's 4 playoff games, 3 baseball. I mean, you have to bet. You don't have to bet it because it's there, folks. If you want, you're having fun, go have fun. I'm looking to make money. I know Kyle and Nick are looking to make money.
Right.
Sometimes you look at things. I don't even look at some games. I don't know about you guys. There's some games I'm like, I like something. Here are my 10 games, 15 games. Let's break it down and see where I'm going to go from here.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Folks, come on. Houston Baptist. What do you name one guy in Houston Baptist?
Well, man, if Glenn knows Houston Baptist team, if you're specifically following that team, then that's fair.
And
But
Glenn, if you're down here in Houston, message me on Twitter. We'll go out. I just got down. I'm on the outskirts here. We'll go. Tell me all you know about Houston Baptist. I need some SWAC information. Conference tournaments in Katy. Let's go. I'll be there with you.
But Sean, I know you and I are both looking forward to college basketball, which is only a month away now.
I know.
That's,
man. I'm looking forward to that too.
I think we're only about a week and a half away from like Midnight Madness. I think they start practices pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be the busiest time of the year for handicappers like us here coming up in November and December. We got everything overlapping. We got the holidays going on. My wife's telling me, hey, we got to go to this. And I'm like, I don't have time to go to this. I got to be getting on these games. And it's a busy time of the year, but we love it. We love sports. Guys, let's transition over. We're going to talk about an underdog that we think can win outright here to finish things off. I'll start us off here this week, plus 3.5 underdog or bigger that we think can win outright. I went against this team once before on the money line and did cash. And that's against Air Force with Utah State earlier in the year. I'm going to take Wyoming on the money line here against Air Force. I think Wyoming, Craig Bowl, a really good coach. Everybody just saw Wyoming suck against UConn a couple weeks ago. Wyoming is a pretty good team. They have stopped the triple option many times in the past. Bowl has defended the triple option, has ran the triple option in the past in the FCS level, much better at stopping the triple option than most teams. I think Wyoming has a shot in a game like this at a big plus money price on the money line. I will take Wyoming here to pull an upset on Air Force. Nick, do you have anything for us here for an underdog that could win outright?
I do. I touched on it earlier. I really like Buffalo in this game against Kent State. I think that they're going to run the ball well and take care of business and win outright.
Nice. So, like I said, I'm kind of torn on this one, Nick, because I need my Kent State over, but we'll see how it goes, right? I think that should be a close game.
I'll tell you what, I'll be happy. Let's just do this. Buffalo covers, Kent State wins by 2. We'll be good.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but pretty big plus money price there on Buffalo as well. We're taking underdogs here that looks like Buffalo is in the range of plus 185 on the money line. Mm-hmm. Wyoming about plus 180 on the money line. So pretty big dogs here. We'll see if we can get at least one of those to cash. Sean, what do you have for an underdog here?
It's funny you mentioned. I was going to go like Wyoming. I'm like looking like, it's got to be kind of a decent sized dog. So I was looking at Wyoming and I'm looking like, Florida Atlantic over UAB. But I'm going to go the NFL. I'm going to go a big dog. I'm going to say Houston Texans here. Now, yeah. And people will be like, well, the Patriots almost beat the Buccaneers. They should have won. They're going to crush the Titans or Tennessee, whatever they had. The Texans scored 40-0. You get smacked 40-0. The head coach is yelling at players. Listen, Mills he's a rookie. And I know we're going to hear Belichick 22-6 versus rookies, right? Or whatever the crazy number is. He crushes them. I had the Texans in week 1, money line. And then granted, that was against the Jaguars. Big coaching advantage, slight edge to the Patriots. But I am not going to be shocked here. Let me pull this one out. They still have veteran running backs in Ingram and Johnson, wide receiver crew, veteran guys. This is a team of like the chip on the shoulder crew, right? All discarded guys. They got rid of Watt. They bring in guys who were trying to just play for a contract. Off a game like that, totally embarrassed, and then you get a chance to go against Patriots. Who cares that the Patriots are the Patriots? They're still the Patriots in these guys' eyes. They hate Belichick. They hate everything the Patriots are. Give me the Patriots here. They got their own rookie quarterback who, let's be honest, he hasn't looked that great. I don't care about his completion percentage. I could throw the ball 3 yards and complete a pass. I mean, 70% completion yards, 15 to 17, whatever you are. You're not putting points on the board. Can't win, you can't score. You're scoring 17, 17, 19, 20. No, you lost to the Saints. You beat the Jets who, come on. Texans outright. I
like that. Could be a letdown spot, right?
Gutsy call.
After playing Brady Sunday night,
And again, they should have won, right? He's gonna get and again, you want to come in on the Patriots like, well, he's getting double talk. He should have tried the first down first or this and that. Whatever. I mean, the talent is not there. The defense is there. And I'll be honest. They had Cam Newton. I was riding this team to the AFC East title. I would have thought they'd be good. But Cam, a whole year of Cam in the system with the guys they brought in, I thought it'd be better. Rookie quarterback changes the whole flow. People jump on these rookies. And I like the Bears this weekend too, by the way, folks. I like them. I'd rather have Foles than the rookie, but at least Nagy ain't calling the plays. They're still rookies. They're not good. They are what they are. Two rookies going against each other. I'm taking the Texans. Humiliating loss. Coaches PO'd. Players are embarrassed. Everybody's on the Belichick's. No. Look at the scores of their games. Now they're going to just explode and win here off of that game. A dogfight. No, and no.
I like the gutsy call, Sean. We bring in Sean for stuff like this. He's not going to come in and give us an underdog that's plus 110 or something like that. We're going to go with the big dog.
Like the Georgia, I'll go favorite sometimes, and it's a huge fave. I get it, but I'll tell you why I think it's going to win. I'll come in on crazy dog. I'll tell you why I think it's going to win.
I like it, guys.
Hopefully this crazy dog comes through it. I'll look like a genius.
I like it, guys. So be sure to check out the oddsbreakers.com. Kiev does a great job with that site. I know I picked on his teams today, but Kiev's a great friend, a good guy, does a tremendous job with the website, very sharp handicapper. Check out the website. I know Nick's on that website, Chris on the website, lots of guys on the website, sharp plays, premium selections. You can get free picks, great podcast as well. So check out everything going on there at the Odds Breakers. I'll give a quick plug for myself, huntersportsfix.com, the free picks newsletter, 26-7 so far this year in college football, 23-5 or 24-5. I think 24-5 on totals this year. So certainly my specialty is on those totals, and that's what I'm going to have most of my plays on again. So look forward to this weekend ahead. Sean, what have you got? Where can our listeners check out all your work?
Yeah, listen, give me a follow on the Twitter. You can find me. I'm on a bunch of sites with Kyle. I'm all over. I'm like the plague right now. I'm like the virus. I'm popping up everywhere. I got a big weekend lined up. I just loaded up a top play tomorrow in college football. I got my NFLs up, and listen, I'm just excited. We brought up college basketball before, and I can't wait for college basketball. That's my favorite. I love baseball, number one. College basketball is number two. People love NFL. I don't. I think NFL lines are as tough as they are. College basketball, listen, I always mention Kyle is. I mean, he's the total guy. College hoops can be beaten early. It can be beaten. Way too many teams. You can do your research. And college is my favorite. Baseball, college hoops. Believe it or not, two teams that nobody loves. But
it's every day.
It's good NFL weekend. Come say hello if you want. On the Twitter, whatever. But
absolutely, check out Sean's work. I know he does a great job in all these sports. Nick, where can we check out your work?
Yeah, so you mentioned the oddsbreakers.com. Recently, what I've been doing with the playoffs here, since it's been a little slower as far as selection, I've been doing prop bets. I've been finding plus money prop bets that I've been writing articles and sending them out for free. I'm 7-4 so far in those, and still need to look at them for today. Obviously, don't have any for this game going on now, but hopefully I can get one out in the next hour or so for the 4 o'clock for the next 3 games. But so yeah, the oddsbreakers.com, I do some articles there, and sportspickhub.com is my website where I release all my premium plays. Check me out there, and on Twitter at NickHubSports is my handle.
Nice, guys. I appreciate both of you coming on here today. Always fun to chat with you guys. Two of the good guys in this industry that make the show a lot of fun as well. So good luck this weekend, guys. And thanks for coming on. Hey, everybody out there, best of luck with your plays this weekend. We'll see you back again next week with the Better Odds Sports Betting Show. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.